Hello and welcome back to Lord Fenton Gaming's Don't Panic series. I'm your host Lord Fenton. In today's Don't Panic series, we're going to be talking about the Bards 4 Director's Cut. Please note for this Don't Panic series, the Bards 4 Barrows Deep version will also work for this new player guide. So this is your first time in the Bards 4 world. You're wondering, I don't know about puzzles, I don't know about combat, and I keep on springing traps. What should I do? How do I survive? Do not panic, help is on the way. When you first start the game out, you're given an option of difficulties. My advice is go for the two lowest difficulties. Lowest one if you're unsure, you want a little challenge, bump it up a bit. And also pick as design. And also make sure you pick allowing resurrection active combat. It helps immensely. As I said before, with this guy right here, you become pros like the Scarbray Raiders you have saw in my Let's Play series of the Bards 4 Director's Cut. You see them learn everything from combat already. Yeah, seriously, they're kicking some butt. With this video guide right here, you'll be exactly like the Scarbray Raiders. We have our assistant Melody today who will help us out during the course of this Don't Panic video guide. So this guy will be covering exploration, combat, a little bit of the puzzles, basic information about it, and what should you do, and you don't have to panic. When you start the game out, you start on hard time and scare break. Give yourself a few moments to move around just to get a feel of the game before speaking to Rabbi up ahead. So we're going to cover each section. The first section is the culture and class section of the game. The next section of this Don't Panic video guide is the classes and cultures, aka races. The classes are bards, practitioners, fighters, and rogues. The cultures are 4 variants of humans, dwarves, elves, and trolls. During hard time and Scarbray, you have Melody you start out with. She's a pre-made female bard with some pre-made skill sets. Here's the thing, you have 2 options. You could keep Melody, which is a bard. You will get more NPCs later on, or create your own. More on character creation like that later on. Or you want to create your first character head on. So you go to the Adventures Guild right here in New Scarbray, and you give it a choice, character creation or keep Melody. For the sake of this part of this guide, we will do character creation. Do not worry, Melody will return in this guide. First of all is the bard. Their magic is based off of their songs. More they drink, more spell points they have. If they drink too much, they will get stunned. Intelligence is based on how much you could drink. Higher intelligence, more you could drink. Their songs includes armor protection, reduction in abilities, timers, and of course stunning enemies. Practitioners are your casters back row. They could do damage spells, they could summon, they could also buff up. They should be in the back. They do arcane spells and they use spell points for damage. Fighters are your front row fighters. Physical damage, they can wear heavy weapons and armor they could use, and more. And also they use shields too, and they do the most physical damage in the game, and they also have a whole bunch of armor depending on how much you go in the defense tree. Rogues, on the other hand, they can hide in shadows, which either gives you more damage in combat or jump enemies before combat starts so things go your way. They can also do crit hits with bows and daggers. Let's talk about the cultures. Bade humans right here, they gain bonus skills at 3, 10, and 18. So if you want bonus skill points, they are your race right here. They're average. Einars, in other words, they get strength as they go on in combat. They're really good at fighting physically. They're great for more offensive fighters and maybe offensive rogues. And next is the Finchai humans. Now these are your guardians here. They're protective. They absorb some damage. They're great for defensive fighters, ones with shields, of course. Next up is the Outlanders. They are immune to poison, fire, and bleeding. They're great for tanks, actually, bards, and maybe rogues. And if you want to get a little bit more difficulty challenge, practitioners too. Now the next race, or culture I should say, are dwarves. They cannot be stunned, rooted, or pushed back. They stay on the line. If they're excellent fighters, they can hold the line definitely. They will never be moved at all. That's why you see so many Dwarven fighters in other Let's Play series. Now, next up for the culture on our list here is the elf up ahead. Elves, they have 50% more intelligence, plus 1 maximum spell points. They are wonderful casters. They're natural practitioners. In fact, they are the best practitioners cultures in the game. Trials, on the other hand, if they get killing blows, they gain opportunity when they do it. It's once per turn. This is very useful for long and drawn out wave battles. Trials, by the way, do make the best rogues in the game, possibly fighters too. I prefer them rogues because when they get those critical hits, they could get some free opportunities. Big humans, they could be anyone they want. Einar and Finchy, they're good at fighters. Einar's offensive, Finchy defensive. Outlanders, I'd probably say Bards. They're the best for that. Maybe fighters. Dwarves, definitely fighters. Elves, definitely practitioners. And Trials, definitely rogues. Experiment what you want to experiment. Now, this next section right here is your character portraits, what they look like, and voices and characters you could also name. If you see my Let's Play series, you know I had some alright names for my characters, especially my main guy, Fenton. Of course, I couldn't say Lord Fenton, but still, you all get the point. And let's talk about the next part right here, which is the skills. Once you create a character, next part is the skill points you allocate. Experiment what you want to experiment. Plan a little bit ahead when you start your characters out. Just give a little bit of glance here. For instance, you want meditation for your practitioners. You want range attack for your rogues, etc. Let's go to the stats. Constitution. That's your hit points in the game. 0 constitution, your adventurer is dead. Higher the constitution, more hit points you have. Ideal for frontline characters such as fighters. Especially bards on the front line have some nice hit points too. The next stat we're going to go down the list here is strength. Strength is more strength you have, more melee damage you do. Some fire abilities and some weapon abilities are actually tied to strength. So higher strength on those, more damage you do, which is really good. Now next up is armor class. This protects against physical damage to a degree. More armor class you have, more protection against those. Bad news about armor class. It will not protect you against mental damage and true damage, they call. Spell points. This is your spell pool in order to use abilities for your bards and your practitioners. For instance, 2 spell points required for Rhyme of Dual Time for those cooldown ability reduction. You only need 2 spell points. Bard doesn't have it, they can't use it. Same thing with practitioners that their spells. Intelligence. More intelligence you have, more challenge you have, and more it takes for enemies to interrupt you. Same thing with more intelligence for bards. More intelligence they have, more drunk they could get more often before getting stunned. Intelligence also deals with practitioner's damage. So more intelligence than that, more practitioner spells does actual base damage. That's it for the character creation portion of this video here. And this next portion is exploration and movement. Now movement is either your controller or WASD on your PC. And when you start the game out, you have freeform and grid movement. My advice is when you start out, freeform. Easier to do first strikes when you get a rogue in your party. It's easier to explore. And there's an action button right there. You can use that to open objects, close objects, loot objects, and more. Also to initiate combat if you get first strike. And my advice is just explore around. And we're going to do a sample of gluing some items up right now. This is very easy. Go to something that's glittering right here, like these herbs. Hit the action button there. And there you go. Just keep on looting everything up that you see. Loot anything that is not nailed down, including barrels. Once you see that, loot it all up because you're going to need those for ingredients. I'll briefly touch up on crafting later on in the UI and inventory section. Also, one more word of advice before I get to the waypoints. Watch out for traps. Traps could kill in the bard's tail. You need to move out of the way and dodge traps, or run forward and then heal afterwards. As for waypoints, look for the blue. Follow the blue. It's very easy on the mini-map right there. And you see the arrow, just go towards the arrow and you should be on your way for your quest updates. Let's talk about the next section. Now, next up is the save system. There are two ways to actually save your game. Number one way is actually the autosave by touching the stone up ahead. Number two is the manual save. That's been patched in during the Bards 4 Barrows Deep version. Use either one is fine. I prefer the manual save. And that's how you save auto, by touching the stone. Now, the manual save is go in your menu, hit the save, and that is it. You can load both of those saves either way. That's it for the save section of this video here. There are plenty of things to discover in the Bards 4 world, such as offering stones, experience stones, and even weapons are puzzle weapons, which is cool. Now, for instance, this offering stone right here is you need 2 items in order to receive its offerings. Now, NXL Entertainment here has a website or forum post on how to actually solve the offering stones. Now, here's the thing. Use the internet. It's much easier, especially on Steam. It has all the solutions to those and more, plus NeoSeeker. And I'm going to give everybody an example of a offering stone has actually been solved. Now, in order to solve the offering stone, you need 2 items that are the correct items. I'm going to put in the wrong items first. Now, we put in this one. We try to put in the mushroom. What will happen is it will not accept the offering. It will stay in there. So instead, here's the thing. We're going to use the sweet bun and this herb right here. Once it accepts its items, that's the correct one, you get the said reward. Just look around, explore everywhere, you may never know. And there's some very beneficial items. So let's talk about the next section. Next up is the combat system. Combat starts as 2 ways. You're getting spotted and the enemy spots you. There's also a difficulty detection for combat here. Here's the thing. We'll touch on that in a few moments. Now, you want to look around your surroundings. For example, right here, the enemies are too busy looting up the bodies. This is a perfect chance for first strike. After this, enemies will just actively look for you. You need to be careful on that. If enemies spot you, they'll attack first. If you attack them first, you get first strike. You always want to strive for first strike. Next up is enemy difficulty. Green means they are easy. Normal, they are average. Challenging, which is orange right here, means it could get difficult sometimes. Impossible, run and level up. Later on in the game, late game, those won't matter because at this point you could take out impossible enemies, which is really good. So for now, these are easy enemies. We could easily defeat them. In fact, we're going to do our first strike together with Melody. So Melody and Rabbi first strikes the enemy. We get our first turn up. Now, right here is a grid system. Closer to enemies, more you're up front. Further away from the enemies, you're in the back row. Put your practitioners and rogues in the back, bards and fighters in the front. And also there's opportunity. Some abilities will actually use opportunity, some will not. For instance, if we are drinking, we do not use any opportunity at all. And just be careful, like the tutorial says, don't get drunk too much. And because we gain a spell point from drinking, we also have an ability to use that requires spell points, not opportunity. We'll cast a spell on Rabbi. Now he has Sanctuary Score. And we'll switch to Rabbi. And we're going to use his axe attack. And just look at the abilities, see where they're positioned at. The axe one, for example, is positioned anywhere, while the mental damage one that costs 1 opportunity point is straight ahead. Make sure you know where you are positioning yourself. That is very important. After we won the battle, there's a bag over there that is enemy loot. Loot it up. That's your spoils of war. Just remember that. And as I said before, strive for first strikes. Avoid being spotted. If enemies spot you, they could destroy you. That's it for the combat section of this video. Let's talk about the next section up ahead. The next section is the user interface. When you get in your user interface, there's your skills section right here where you get to choose your skills when you level up. More on that later on. Also, there's your mapping right here. Now, on the PC version, you right-click your mouse. On the console version, it depends on which button activates that. This is your map right here. This is where it tells you where you are at in the game. There's a mini map only covers a certain section, while the full map will cover whatever you explore. Here's your quest section right here. This is where you actually get to start and do quests and completed quests too. There's also a crafting menu in the inventory. We'll cover on that in the inventory section next. Still, the interface is not that hard to use. It's alright. It's better than the inventory system, but still, let's talk about the inventory system next here. The inventory systems like this, there are sections. There's also a crafting section underneath, as long as you learn the item from a recipe or from your character as they level up. Now, inventory is spaces. Sometimes they take one item per space. You could click the item right here to either inspect it. Is the inspection option, or right click on the PC to inspect it, or you can actually equip the item by using the action button on it, and that's it. Other than that, that is the inventory system you can use to inspect items like puzzle weapons or solve puzzles. Also, lore and quest items you need to also use in the inventory system. Let's talk about the Bards 4 shop system. Now, when you want to buy and sell items, you need to look for an NPC. Look for the money bag icon on the mini map right here, or on your map right here when you open up your map. I'm going to say this right now. Shop vendors have limited amount of money in this game, so you need to be careful later on in the game. For now, if you need to go buy something, just go through the dialogue and ask them, what are you selling? We're going to do that right now with Melody here. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to sell this right here. Use the action button to sell. PC version, you drag over there and you sell here. Very simple, very easy. Now, we're actually going to also move pages. So you can move pages there to place items to sell to. And what we're going to do is buy this axe right here. And if you have the money, you buy it. If you don't have the money, well, oh well. You buy that too. And that's how you buy and sell items in the Bards 4. Really easy to do. Really simple. Plan accordingly when you need to buy and sell. Later on in the game, you want to use the shop less. Instead, items you find in the world is much more valuable than the items are in the shops. Let's talk about the next section of this guide here. Next up is the party member system right here. You can recruit NPCs as you find along the way in the Bards 4. However, I prefer the method of talking with Mercy, the mercenary captain. Now, if you have a mercenary token, you can create your own party member, which is very good. I advise doing that when you start the Best of Us quests here, because you create up to 3 additional party members if you want to go that route. Also, you want to go the NPC route that too. Now, Mercy is the only one that not only allows you to create your own party members, she can also store certain party members. You can switch people in and out, which is a really nice option. I mean, it's a really good option. And there's also a option right there that's hewed out where you create a full 6-man party costing 8 mercenary tokens. So that's how you create your own custom party member. When you create your own custom party member, it's just like creating your own custom character instead of picking Melody. So there are options in the game for that. So before I do finish up for the party section right here, let me show everybody what the mercenary token does look like, because you could be using it for more than just creating your own party members. Now, this mercenary token right here is used to actually create party members, and also used to respec characters via the review board. I'll touch on that more later on. Mercenary tokens you gain from quests you find in chests if you're lucky. So just keep on doing more side quests, you get a better shot at getting mercenary tokens. Also at Heron Hold later on, you donate money, you get more mercenary tokens with that method. So that's it for the mercenary tokens here. Other than that, that is your party creation and party system in a nutshell. Maximum party members is 6. My advice is, when you start the Best of Us, create your own party members that tailors to your needs. So let's talk about the next section in this Don't Panic video guide right here. Let's talk about the leveling and skill system in the game here. When you either level up because you completed a quest, side, or story, kill enough foes to level up, or by total luck, touch one of those experience stones. First of all, go in your menu, go into skill right here, and you have 1 point per level. The Bide has another point for certain levels. So I'm going down this tree here towards the Stun Song skill right here. Now here's the thing, there's a chain there, you need to put X amount of points in there in the tier 1 skills here in order to unlock the chain. In order to unlock that chain, you need to visit the review board. Oh yes you do, the review board. We're going to be touching on that too, so plan accordingly, plan ahead. And while I'm at it, when you get new songs in the Bards Tale 4, just pull up that menu and play the songs. You know when it happens to play the said songs at the right time. Yes, and there's a song later on that requires for fast travel. That song right there, however you need to do a quest in order to complete to get fast travel. So now we have arrived at the review board. Our next section here is we're going to speak with them. When you have enough skill points in tier 1 or tier 2, they'll tell you and unlock that for you too. Here's great news about the review board. I want everybody to hear this. They're the ones who allow respecting your character. It is really great. I'm serious. It is so wonderful. However, there's a limited amount of mercenary tokens, so you need to be careful on what you spend. So for example, you like Melody as a character, you like her voice, you like her as a bard, but you made a few mistakes, well, visit a review board. They'll refund those points for you, and you start putting points in for Melody the way you want to do that too. This works also for custom characters and NPCs you find in the field. So my advice for leveling and skill assessment, plan accordingly and visit a review board when you get that message because it's important. In the Bards Tale 4, there are plenty of things to do in this game besides looking for puzzles, looking for trouble, or look for those experience stones. And they are in the form of side quests. Besides doing the main story quests, you should do these side quests. They will unlock access to places, they will unlock items, or even unlock options in the game, or features. Now, Roscoe's, for example, right here, unlocks the ability to visit his shop at Roscoe's Emporium in Old Scarab Bright. Now, here's a problem that Roscoe has he wants us to solve. There are these mean trials guarding his Emporium, which is not cool. So you need to do just talk to any NPC such as Roscoe here, accept the quest. Once you accept the quest, then you have the option to actually do them. I said before, do not panic for one reason only. Just because you have the side quests doesn't mean you have to do them right away. Some of them will be spread out when you have to do them. You know when it happens. And for Roscoe's instance, you want to do his when you start the Best of Us because you're about the range of those trials to take care of. Right now, those trials will mop the floor with you. So when you do complete his quest, you get access to his shop like I said before. So you should do many side quests as possible because of a few reasons. Mercenary tokens, someone will reward you. Experience points, obviously the number one reason. Sometimes loot, sometimes gold, and other accesses that are very important. Even some of the side quests you do will unlock areas that has certain great items in it, like a certain weapon I am not going to name. You see my Let's Play video guides, well, you know what weapon I'm talking about. Other than that, final advice is you have side quests, hold on to it until you know when it happens. Let's talk about the next section. Now, the next section of this video are the puzzles. Yeah, not only the Bards Tale has combat, it has puzzles. First of all, the puzzles might be simple, then later on it snowballs into hard. Seriously, it does do that. Now, this is like the tutorial puzzle I'm calling it right now with Melody. It's very simple. There are so many like the clock puzzles here, light puzzles, block puzzles, even the lava puzzles. Those you need to discover for yourself. Simple, move the clock to 1 and that's it. That's how you solve it and get in the gate. Now, later on there are more complicated puzzles especially in Heron's Hold here. And the object of this puzzle right here is to light up all the lights once without running them over. And you need to be careful. You run them over, then you reset the puzzle. So yeah, some of the puzzles start out easy, then it gets harder as you progress further in the game. And when you do complete the said puzzle, that means you have done your duty. And we got a few more steps, and one more time, and there you go. The gate has been opened, and we have access to a new area. So my advice on puzzles is don't panic. Take your time. Take your breather. If you get stumped on it, just exit the game, come back, you'll be all refreshed and ready to do the puzzles. Also, you could do the skip puzzle option when you actually make a new game. So that's it for this section. In my newest addition to the Don't Panic series, the Bards Tale 4 will premiere How to Cheese the Game. And certain points when you've decided you could beat the game with ease, with abilities, scores, or tactics, in this case is we're going to abuse the bard so bad that you can actually cheese the game and beat it without any problems. Yeah, we're going to do the stun song method here, folks. So let's go over on how to actually cheese the encounters in combat. First of all, you want to make sure you get Rhyme of Duel time. This is very important because the stun song takes about an extra turn. Rhyme of Duel time will negate that turn so you can use it again to stun over and over. This is a very powerful song right here for the bard to use. What's great about it is he pops this baby, he could get a free drink. You drink up, pop Rhyme of Duel time, drink a better drink, and then use this ability right here. This song right here will stun the bard and the enemy of your choice. Almost anybody in the game can be stunned. Even the bosses of the game, and the instance of Heron's Hold. Oh yes, they can all be stunned. If you watch my Red Cat video guide, yes, they can be stunned too. Negates many of the problems, and you can start cheesing encounters. This ability right here, Grand True Bar right here, will force an enemy to fall in love with you long as you do not attack said enemy. This is great for most single boss fights. Some will be immune to this, however, enemies like the Red Cats will fall in love with you, give you time to drink more drinks, meditate more for your practitioners, and more. And just trust me, by doing this method, you can cheese anything. And one more thing to put all the pieces together is the Mastercraft loot, or any loot. What this does is, when the bard stuns an enemy without the loot, you break his stun. With the loot, oh, they are still stunned, and you can still cheese them to death. You beat them down while the bard's still stunning them, and it's payday for you. You couple the skills and this item together, you can not only beat the game, you'll cheese the game, and have a great time doing it, and making combat much, much easier. And as you see right here, we got the fool dancing, and my character's attacking, and the fool just missed his turn right here, and he's still dancing. He's dancing to his doom. So we're going to keep on doing more damage, and we're going to finish him off soon. We're going to switch to Scarlet right here, and there you go. That is how you cheese the game right here. Stun song, Rhyme of Duel time, Mastercraft loot, and a bard. Here is my last and final advice for the Don't Panic the Bards Tale 4 new player guide. Side quests, do them. Don't worry about doing them now. You can do them later on down the line. That's important. Explore, explore, explore. It's very important to explore everywhere, every nook and cranny, even side quests that takes you to a new location. When you get fast travel, abuse it. Recipes, when you find them, use them. When you learn new skills that allows you to craft, go ahead and abuse it, especially bombs. Bombs are really OP in this game. Set up your skills accordingly. Definitely use the cheese method. If you want a challenge, avoid the cheese method. Go to dungeons that are optional. Just trust me, there's some great places like Heron Hold. And if an enemy's too powerful in one area now, you can come back later after a few story quests and side quests, and when your party's leveled up, and trash it, like this war giant right here. Another word of advice is, if there's any items that start to clutter your inventory, sell them. Do elven puzzle weapons. They're very important. When you get to level 3, it's either kill this enemy or go find a shrine and drop the weapon off. It'll be powerful. Other than that, have fun, enjoy the game. That's what gaming's all about, especially with this game here. Well, that's it for my Don't Panic the Bards Tale 4 Director's Cut New Player video guide. This is Lord Fenton signing off. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day or night.